Jai Hind everyone, welcome back to the Patriotic IAS. Today we have also launched our monthly compilation of all these current affairs that we discuss on a daily basis. So those who are not regular with the daily current affairs, they can go and they can download our monthly compilation. And most of the relevant news from the April month has been provided under this compilation. So you will be regular with the current affairs. So you can save your time. There is the comprehensive discussion of most of the article that is relevant, that was relevant under the Hindu news analysis. So today we are going to study, we are going to analyze all the relevant news of the today's newspaper. Today is 5th of the May. And today we have very many of the interesting news. For example, the Kuthandvar. This is the festival. This festival is associated with the Mahabharata, and this is also associated with the transgenders. So here, this will be for the art and culture, and also the weaker section of the society, transgender. But mainly it is associated with the art and culture, and it will be part of the prelims. Then we will study the lot of killing, lot of assassination attempt has been there, and there has been the allegations of the many of the countries that the Indian official, they are responsible for the assassination into the countries such as the Canada, US, and here we have seen that the most of these officials belong from the raw research and analysis wing. This is considered as the external intelligence bureau, and mostly its work into the gathering of the intelligence and other such thing with respect to the threat that could be the threat for the India's security. So here we will study. It will be for the international relation GS paper 2, and it could be also part of the internal security GS paper 3. Internal security, because the Khalistan issue is the part of the internal security demand for the separate state. Also the activists, these terrorists into the Kashmir, those are creating the threat to the internal security. Then we will study that the Boeing crewed space test significant. Here it will be, we will study that the Boeing that has manufactured the rocket and spacecraft that will be part of the space mission, and it is with the NASA, collaboration with the NASA, so it will be important for the GS paper 3 science and technology. And in the last, the most curious, most famous thing that is going on, the Kejriwal, Chief Minister of Delhi, he is walking from the Tihar jail. So you must have been curious about the what is the provision for the Chief Minister to be disqualified, or how he is functioning. All this will be discussed under this heading. So let's start with the front page. The front page, the first news that is talking is about the elections. The elections that is going on into the, now the next phase, that preparation is going on for the Jammu and Kashmir. And in Jammu and Kashmir, Election Commission of India that is working to make people more aware. It want to motivate people to go to the booth and cast their vote, because it is most important duty of a people to cast their vote, because this is the main base of the democracy in India. So here you will see that into the Kashmir, the election, the percentage of the turnout has been always very low. For example, it has been 14% into the last polling into the Srinagar. Anantnag, it was 13%, Baramulla 39%. So this is the lowest. This is the region where the lowest percentage of the turnout we find. Here now the Election Commission of India want to bring the people, and here they want to motivate like the your vote, your voice, empowering the democracy. Now many of the professor, dean, all they are giving speeches. For example, one of the dean into the university, into the Srinagar, they have said that India is the young country, because the majority of the population are young, and young country, if they are going to build the nation, they need to vote as well. So these are all things that has been discussed here. Next important news is here with respect to the export ban on onion. Now it has been removed. We saw the last year we impose the ban on export of the onion because of the global situation, supply side constraint, there was the inflation. major countries who export the onion, for example, Pakistan, Egypt, as well as India, they banned the export, and that's why India also banned. Now we have seen that the Egypt has also lifted, Pakistan has also lifted, and now India has also lifted the ban. So here, the most famous mandi for the onion, this is the Lasalgaon Mandi into the Maharashtra. It is the country's largest onion wholesale market. So please remember for the state PCS, UPSC. Okay, so this is all about, you should know that the major export, major producer of the onion is the India, Pakistan and Egypt. Okay. Next important news is with respect to the international turmoil, with respect to the assassination attempt against the many of the Khalistani separatists, many of the Khalistani extremists, and here in the Canada there has been the 3 Indians who have been arrested. With respect to that, Indian government, Indian external affairs minister is criticizing it and asking for the information. Further they will give the comment. Further there is on the same topic there is the news on the FAQ, frequently asked question. In a very detail we will discuss all this thing. Next important news is very important, again very interesting. It is with respect to the culture. Here you will see that the people are going for their festival, and it is into the Kuthandavar temple, and the name of festival is the Kuthandavar festival. Okay, so it is into the Tamil Nadu, and here the transgender woman dressed up the goddess for the Miss Kovagan fashion show conducted as part of the festival. Here the transgender women from the US participating in the ritual. So here you will see that what is the ritual. The rituals that start with the, yes, here the transgender woman gets ready for the ritual wedding. So she prepare for the ritual wedding, and it is into this Kuthandavar temple. Okay, so here you will see that as per the legend, as per the story, this is celebrated into the Chithirai month. This is the mid-April to the mid-May. Generally, it starts from the 17th. Okay, so residents of the village who walk into the big cities, they all come to attend this festival because this is celebrated on a very large scale. Here the thali that is known as the sacred yellow thread, it is tied to the transgender. Okay, so after that, as per this story, the version of the Mahabharata, a character called Aravan offered himself as a sacrifice for the Pandava triumph in the war. He wanted to marry, but no one was ready. No women were ready to marry because he was going to sacrifice, and that's why the women don't want to be widowed. So in that case, Lord Krishna married Aravan by taking the form of Mohini, the beautiful Mohini. And here the Lord has that the Lord Krishna grieved for Aravan as widow. So all the transgenders, they first get married, and after that they grieve as well. So Kuvam, the ritual trace of the legend, that was the person to whom the Lord Krishna married in the form of the Mohini. So transgender women also dressed on the 17th and preached Kuthanvar temple tie the thali for them so that the marriage wedding ceremony is completed. After that, transgender women gather and perform the Kummi dance as the chariot moves. The chariot will be used, okay. And after that, here you will see that the transgender women rub off the kunguman, a red turmeric mark on the forehead, and dress into the white sari to show their widowhood. Here you will see that the widowhood is also shown. Here all the preparation that is going on. This is the thali that is being tied. Thali, this thread. And after that, in the last, the transgender woman cries as the priest break the bangles and cut the thali. Okay, so here, and in the last, the white sari to sew, drap in the white sari to sew as the widowhood. So this is all about from this news article. The most important news from the today's newspaper is will the resorts and Analysis wing oversees the operation affect the ties. RAW. You must have listened the name of the RAW, that is very famous. And this is the agency that gathered the external intelligence. This is the agency that do the foreign operation with respect to the different internal security as well as the external security matters. For example, RAW is now into the news because of there has been so many assassin operation against those who are involved into the Khalistan movement. What is the Khalistan movement? Khalistan movement is associated with the Punjab, the group that want a separate state of the Punjab on the name of the religion Sikhism. Okay, so here they think that there should be the separate nation should be there out of those who belong from the Sikh community, and those movement is known as the Khalistan movement, and they try to run this movement and instigate the violence against Indian diplomats into the foreign countries such as the UK, US, Canada. We have seen that. And here the number of Sikh population is more high. And that's why they are able to influence those community. And for that, Indian external agency, intelligence agency, the research and analysis wing, this is in the short form known as the RAW, that's take the operation. And in this case, you must have listened the killing of the killing attempt against the many of these Khalistani leaders. So this analysis is all about that. We have seen that there has been the protest from the countries and allegation into the countries such as the US, Canada, Australia, and Pakistan. Pakistan has been always a critic of the India's involvement into the different assassin operations. So here, Pakistan is justifying that, look, yes, what we were telling, this is being done. Because in the Canada, the case is being investigated against the Indian RAW officials that they were involved in the assassination of the Khalistani leader. Okay, so here on the Hindu, it is given on the FAQs page, frequently asked question page. Here it is talking about the will the RAW overseas operation affect the ties. Okay, so ties with the countries such as the US, Canada, Australia, Pakistan, even the many of the other countries such as the UK as well. We have seen that the movement against the Indian state into the UK as well. Okay, so here you will see that what are the charges? The charges against the RAW is that, for example, recently we have seen that the attempt of assassination against the Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. And already there was the assassination of the Hardeep Singh Nijjar into the Canada. This case is into the US, this is into the Canada. And here it is alleged that Indian officials such as, for example, Vikram Yadav belonging from the RAW and many of the chief from the RAW, previous chief of the RAW, they were involved. Even the Prime Minister of the Canada, he has criticized Justice Trudeau. So he had criticized the Indian official and Indian state on this ground. And we have seen that on this ground, there has been the tussle, there has been the friction into the relationship between these countries. However, this is extreme into the case of the Pakistan. Pakistan, the extent is that we are not able to maintain a normal diplomatic relation. Okay. Even the Australia's ABC reported in 2020 that it has expelled the RAW official on the case of the espionage activities and surveillance of the Khalistani separatists. How has New Delhi reacted? What is the stand of the New Delhi? What is the Indian stand of the India? Here we have seen that the Ministry of External Affairs that has categorically said that we are not involved into any of the extrajudicial killing. Extrajudicial killing means you are not following the law, either internal law or the external law. You are going against the law and you are killing just into the revenge. normally what you file the cases goes on, and that's you prove that this person was involved in the such cases, and after that whatever the punishment is there as per the law, it is given. So judiciary takes the all the route, and in the last the police take the final action. So here you will see that the assassination is a extrajudicial killing. Just you are going to kill without proving in the judiciary. Okay, so here you will see that the already high level inquiry has been already that is going on Canada and US. We already have the in 2019 German court sentenced Indian couple for the spying Khalistan and Kashmiri activist. Okay. However, the Indian official, they question that despite there has been the attempt of the violence or the violence incitement from these extremist individual as well as group, but the countries such as the Canada, US, Australia, they do not take action on the name of the freedom of speech. They give them freedom to speak whatever they want to do, whatever they want to speak, whatever the incitement they want to do. And here it is said that one of the example has been given that Talvinder Singh Parmar, he was accused, he was main person behind the 1985 Air India bombing, and at least there was the death of 329 people. So here it is accused that if you will leave these people and if you will not penalize or punish, they will have the you will encouraging them to do such activities, and in the last it will result into the terror activities where the loss of the life could be there and the loss of the property could be there. So this is the stand. What has been the diplomatic fallout? For example, we do not have any visit from the Indian Prime Minister to the Canada from the since 1973. It is just on the Khalistani issue. So you will see that despite there has been the externally we show that the Canada and we Indian have the very good relationship, but this shows that there is something that is missing between the relationship, and here it is very clear that the Indian Prime Minister, no Indian Prime Minister has visited Canada since 1973. Okay. Even we have seen that the US government has issued a statement on the Pannu case and expects accountability from India, and it has brought the three-step demand. Three-step demand. First thing is the thorough investigation. Have asked India to please do the thorough investigation. After that, please acknowledge any of the wrongdoing that is coming from you, and please punish those officials as per the legal accountability who were involved into the attempt to assassin. So here you will see that, for example, Nikhil Gupta, one of the businessmen who was involved into the killing of the Khalistani, the attempt to kill Khalistani activists into the US. Okay, so here you will see that such thing is such thing that is being demanded, and here it is impacting the diplomatic relation. Besides that, you will see that the even it is not that the US and Israel they do not do such type of the thing, the extrajudicial killing. They also do, and they justify all this thing on the name of the self-defense, that say they are defending themselves, they are not killing the people. For example, the killing of the Osama bin Laden, it was into the territory of the foreign territory. So here they decide the self-defense defense. When India do the same thing, you criticize that you are doing extrajudicial killing. So here there is the double standard that is seen into the international diplomatic arena and the law. Okay. So here you will see that generally this is the informal law that is not written anywhere, that generally if there is the friendly relation with any of the countries do not go for the any of the extrajudicial operation, and any of such operation is avoided. So here you will see that maybe Indian official and the law must have been compelled by the some of the thing for the such operation into the foreign lands. Let's see that what is going on, how they are going to prove with all this assassination and involvement of the Indian officials from the law. So this is all about from this news analysis. Next important news that we are going to take is why Boeing crewed space is significant. So here we will see that there is the rocket, the name of rocket is Atlas 5. There is the spacecraft, name is the Starliner, and it is the company Boeing that is building, that is manufacturing this. So why it is into the news? Because there has been so many crash of the aeroplane made by Boeing. Boeing is a company, and we have seen that it has been questioned the safety standard of the plane of the Boeing. Here you will see that the same company is manufacturing this rocket and the spacecraft. Here it is questioned that whether how much safe it will be. This spacecraft will carry two of the astronauts, and it will be the two astronauts. The name of this is the Barry Wilmore and Sunita Williams. Sunita Williams origin from the India, and that's why it's become important. So here you will see that Starliner, this consists of the two main parts. The first is the crew capsule and the second is the service module. So what is the crew capsule? During the journey in this cabinet, the astronauts, they will do all their thing, they will survive. And in the service module, it will be for the during the astronauts to survive into the space, and it will control the air, temperature, water supply and sanitation. All that will be provided by the service module into the space. During the journey, it will be the crew module where they will be surviving. So you should remember this thing. And here you should know that these are the private company. The private company, they have the contract with the NASA, and they are developing all these things. So this is important. Just you should know that why it is into the news. The name of the spacecraft, that is the Starliner. Please remember this. And the name of the this jet, this what we call jet. Yeah, jet is the Atlas 5. So here it is given Atlas 5, that is the rocket jet, and it is the Atlas 5. And the Starliner, the name of the spacecraft. Please remember this. They can ask into the prelims as well as mains. Here you should remember that what were the planes, the name of the plane that Boeing that has manufactured 737 MAX 8, that has been faced the maximum of the error and the fault. Okay, so recently there has so many cases like the crash claiming the life of 175 passenger we have seen in 2019, and the problem with the MAX 8 maneuvering characteristic augmentation system. So what is this maneuvering characteristic augmentation system? That is mainly when it is used during the landing. Okay, so here there has been the error, and we have seen that the crash, and that's why it is being questioned. So this is all about from this news analysis. The next important news is the how the Kejriwal functioning from the Tihar. Here it is again from the FAQs. This is, most of you must have been curious about that, despite the Kejriwal that has been arrested and he is lodged into the Tihar jail, how he is working. So actually he has not been convicted. There is the investigation process that is going on. That's why he is not disqualified. The disqualification is for the, if there is the conviction, and conviction for the more than 2 years. That is the main point where the disqualification come. However, there is the other ground. If there is the lack of accessibility or the contact with the chief minister and the public or the public machinery, then the central government can declare the president rule. But here the president rule is not for the state, it is for the union territories of Delhi. So there is the two separate articles for the state. It is article 357. You must have gone through that article 357, the most misused article of the constitution. Article 356. This is for the president rule in states. This article was considered as the dead letter. However, this is a dead letter by the Dr. Ambedkar, the father of a constitution maker, and here he was he is considered as the father of constitution maker, and here article 356 that has been considered as it will be used, it will remain a date later. However, it is most used, most active, most living part of the constitution, and more than 100 times the president rule has been imposed, and maximum president rule has been imposed into the Kerala. Please remember Kerala and the Punjab. They are the states where the most of the this president rule has been imposed. Here, what is the main allegation of against the Kejriwal? It is the corruption and the money laundering and the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. That is the main law under that he has been arrested. And it was the Delhi government excise policy for 2021-22. Means how the taxation will be there, how will be the shop will be open. All this policy was into the favor of those who were taking the contract. So this is the allegation. And who is the authority? Enforcement Directorate that has arrested, and it is investigating. However, despite he has been arrested, he has not given the resignation, and here the AAP has started the campaign that may be Kejriwal, and they are continuously with the with the post of the chief minister, as he considered that the people of the Delhi they want. Will of the people of the Delhi is that he should be continuous with this post. However, there has been the sum of the issue. For example, recently we have seen that the election to appoint the mayor and deputy mayor that has been postponed. It was about to happen on the 26th of the April. Now it has been postponed because it is inappropriate without the input from the chief minister to appoint this authority, as per the Lieutenant Governor Vinay Kumar Saxena. So here it has been again the tussle is very clear. Already there was the tussle conflict that was going on between the chief minister and the lieutenant governor of the Delhi. Is the chief minister meeting with his minister? Already he has no portfolio, only chief minister post is there, and he is continuously meeting, and his message is being read by his wife Sunita Kejriwal. Beside that, there has been the interview. However, we have seen that the Kejriwal has also met with the General Secretary Sandeep Pathak and the cabinet minister like the Atisi and the Saurabh Bhardwaj, and also the Chief Minister of the Punjab, Bhagwat Maan. Okay, so here you will see that there has been some of the contact. However, the direct accessibility is not there. Besides that, it has been mentioned that the Kejriwal will meet the cabinet minister every week, two cabinet ministers for the 30 minutes. However, you should mostly focus on the law that will be basis for the imposition of president rule into the Delhi. What is the provision? Article 390A(b). That is if there will be the failure of the constitutional machinery, then the lieutenant governor can recommend the president for the imposition of the president rule into the Delhi. So very important article, Article 329A(b). So maybe into the prelims they can ask that the imposition of provision into the constitution for the imposition of the president rule into the Delhi. They can give Article 365, 352, 359 and 360, and also Article 390A(b). So please remember this Article 239A(b), that is mainly it will be the basis for the imposition of president rule into the Delhi. So that is all about. However, there has been the challenge, mainly the challenge that is coming out from the High Court of the Delhi. Here the AAP government has been criticized for the failing to provide the educational material and other benefit to the 8 lakh students as well as the MCDs and schools. Besides that, High Court emphasizes that it is essential for the holder of this position to remain accessible and present to the people. Okay, so here it is in the national and the public interest to ensure that Chief Minister is not absent and inaccessible for the extended and uncertain period of the time. So this could be the ground for the suspension of the government into the Delhi, Chief Minister particularly. So this is all about from this news article. The most important thing you have to remember is Article 239A(b). 239 AB, and it is the Article 356 that is the ground for imposition into the state. This is the union territories. Okay, so here you should be very careful. So most of the news from the 2 days newspaper we have covered. So here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.